About to get chopped up. Chopping it up on the butcher's block. We're just going to be spitting out names all day. So, yeah, I got all these headlines next to me.
We good, man.
Thanks for having me on, dude.
So welcome to the show, guys. This is we're going to call this Rumboyz Sports Talk for now until we can come up with a better name for this. But this is basically some rumors. We're going to go rumors and injury updates and basically just run down some sports talk, and we'll go from sport to sport if we got to, and basically just in the afternoons, I think me and Rumboyz Central here are gonna run down, give you guys basically a rundown of some updates and news and injuries, just basically what's going on in the world of sports at the time being. So I think that's how the show is gonna work.
Should we start with injuries then?
Absolutely. Any we can start anywhere you want, man. Whatever you want to start with, we can go with.
All right, well, I'll just read them off, and then you can tell me. You can stop me when you want to say if that's a big deal or nothing. We got Josh Shaw, Arizona Cardinals. He's got a shoulder injury. He's going to be on the reserve list. And then
they put him on the reserve list?
Injury reserve list, yes. I think he's going to start the season out on the injury reserve list.
Safety. Now when you're on IR, isn't there that's a minimum of what?
Minimum of I think it's 15 days.
Yeah.
So probably he'll miss week 1 minimum.
I was just gonna there's I definitely think so. At the very least, he's out week 1.
And then Hakeem Butler, same with the Cardinals.
I heard about that one. He broke fractured his hand like really bad. Done for the see. Go ahead.
Done for the season? Oh no, that was it. He just broke his hand.
Yeah,
he's done for the season. Wow, I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, no. From what I've heard, like it's if he broke his hand that bad, then it's got to be there's probably some surgery involved and stuff. They probably got to put pins in it and stuff like that.
That stinks. That's his rookie season too.
That's what I mean. Like it had to have been pretty bad. Hey Avery, what's up? What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
What is good, Avery? Let's go to the Atlanta Falcons. We got Julio Jones. He's expected to be full go next week in practice, but right now he's listed as questionable. Is that a big deal going into the season? I stayed away from him in fantasy.
How long? I mean, it took him in our draft. It took him till the 3rd round, I think, to go. I think.
Yeah, I could have picked him twice. I think, and I didn't 3 times. Oops.
I don't know, man. I just like it's one thing for here's the thing with Julio, right? Here's my biggest gripe with him. And with the Falcons in general, like they just seem to not be able to get him in the end zone. You know, like
yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I mean, he's a numbers monster.
I wonder if that has more to do with Matt Ryan and not him. I'm not sure if Matt Ryan's a precision thrower in the end zone. He seems to be sometimes.
Hey Trey, what's going on, man? Trey Hunt Vlogs in the house. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Trey just got home from school, so that's good, man.
Hey, welcome home, man. School can blow sometimes.
Yeah, so welcome to the show, man. Hopefully you had a good day at school. If not, sit back and enjoy the show. It's mind-boggling, JD, because you see the numbers every year he puts up, and then there's like 8 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. You know what I mean?
Underwhelming. You would think a guy with that much talent would get at least 10 to 12 touchdowns.
I was going to say he should have at least 10 annually. That's 1 a game. I mean, how can you not get that guy in the end zone at least once every game? Every other game. You
would think with Matt Ryan, he's an accurate thrower, but it seems like he just can't hit him in the end zone. I don't even know exactly.
I blame it on play calling. I blame it on the OC. The play calling. Like, how can you not get a guy? And he's not a small guy either. Julio
Shanahan. Yeah, Shanahan got it done with Julio. So
that's what I mean. Like, they switched OCs, and as soon as they switched OCs, like it's mind-boggling. Like, how can you not have this guy score 9+ touchdowns every year?
He has Dirk Cutter going into the 2019 season. Last year, they had that guy from USC. I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I can't put a name on it though.
Let's see.
Hey, Chrissy, thanks for tuning in. Gaming with JT in the house too. Welcome, guys.
Welcome, JT. Welcome, Chrissy. What's going on? What is going on? We got a lot of injuries, man. Holy crap! It's crazy.
I know.
Ricky Ortiz, he's got an ankle. Foy Alukin, he's got an oblique. Rashid Hageman, a defensive tackle, he's got a suspension problem, so it's like a stinger. So it looks like he'll be fine in the end. He just can't practice for a few days. Jaden Graham ruled out for the remainder of Thursday. There's a lot of injuries.
It's probably like depth guys basically that we're playing more than like.
And then Robert Griffin III. Talk about that for a second. He's hurt too.
Is he really? What has he got going on now?
Dude, he's had at least like 15 injuries in the league. It's crazy. He has a thumb injury now.
He just talk about a huge waste of potential.
It's sad. I mean, he is a good talent. It's just you don't trust him because he runs the ball too often when he needs to throw, and then he's not the best with reads. So it's hard when you have that. You have like Michael Vick got really good at the reads and he could run late in his career. That's why he was so good at the dual threat. You don't have a lot of guys that can master that.
He also had a very good quarterbacks coach in Atlanta to help him too. So they developed him, as the way they should.
Yeah, Mike Vick.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mick Vick.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Zach?
What's up, Zach?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for stopping in. Just a little afternoon sports talk with the Rumboyz.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, guys. Remember to share and head over to rumboyz.com if you want some written content.
Absolutely.
What was your first thought when you saw that Andrew Luck retired the other night? I was watching the Colts and the Bears.
We were in the middle of the draft. We were drafting.
Oh, we were in the middle of the draft. That's true. I was also in the middle of the draft.
Remember that? It was like the sixth or seventh. Crazy. It was like the 7th or 8th round. It was like
Jordan Love took Andrew Luck,
and it was like J Love started freaking out, and he was like,
I was too.
How could, what's weird though is the timing. 8 o'clock at why 8 or 9? Why 8 or 9 at night?
I think he talked to ownership yesterday, and they announced it today.
Friday or something.
News dump. You know what I mean? Like, it's on Saturday night. You know what I mean? Like nobody's there to like. If they did it on a Monday, everyone would be talking about it all the time.
Dude, the media would be all over him.
Also, he's probably been trying to rehab really hard for the last couple weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks for the share. Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Zeus, that's awesome. But yeah, man, it's and you know what really, honestly, Jay, you know what really
I feel bad for him.
You know what really pissed me off?
What's that?
The Indy fans booing him when he retired.
Oh, I was watching that. I was not happy when they booed him. I was like, what are you doing?
Come on, guys. Like, you're really gonna and here's the thing, his injuries weren't like a sprained finger. Like they were like it was like a serious shoulder injury, and then like he had the back for a while. Like I don't blame him for being when you're trying to rehab an injury like that and you want to come back like really, really bad. Like, you're working like 6 hours a day for 5 days a week to try and get that back, back to normal.
And everyone says he was doing that too. Hey, what's up, Deuce? Good to see you. I appreciate you coming back on. Luck, the immediate thought I had when they started booing him was, that this guy he's only 29 years old. He's got like 5, 6, 7 years of prime minimum
he's
left.
Never going to want to come back to that.
Never going to, exactly. That was exactly what I was going to say. He's never going to want to come back to the team. Now for a fact, if he does come back to football, he ain't come back to the Indianapolis Colts. That's why he gave him their money back.
And he's going to, and he want, like, if he, dude, even if
they booed him.
even if he takes 2 years off and comes back at 31, he's still young, you know.
Oh, he'll be great if he comes back at 31 after 2 years of rehab and he joins a team
and rest and just gets back to normal. Like,
yeah, he joins a team with a good offensive line, good weapons around them, just needing a quarterback. He could pull a Peyton Manning. He could win a Super Bowl with.
What if the Pats took him?
Oh God! If the Pats took him on
a rental, Belichick and Andrew Luck, another 9 years of dominance.
Well, if I'm Luck, I don't want to work for Jim Irsay anymore. I like Frank Reich, but like
I wouldn't trust the organization either. I wouldn't trust him.
Irsay is constantly talking crap. Like he's always saying, "Well, if you wanted to come back, he could have come back. It's all in the brain and stuff like that." That's not something you say to somebody who had a lacerated kidney. That's just unacceptable.
That is. Vic Coaster says. Luck to New England in 2 years. Book it.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I wouldn't blame Luck
right now.
That's what I would do if I was Andrew Luck. I'd go to a really good team like New England in a couple of years.
Don't forget, they're still in Indy's division, so they would get to stick it to them every year if they even made the playoffs.
I just don't understand the vitriol. Like, I get that this guy was the second best quarterback, arguably in the league at the time.
No. Go ahead, keep going.
I get that, but it's like I just don't understand how people can be like legitimately angry at him. Like I saw Doug Gottlieb's comment. He's like just trashing him. He's saying this is such a millennial thing to do. He's trying to like make fun of him.
What was it?
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it said like retiring because rehabbing is tough is the most millennial thing to do. It's like, dude, are you kidding me?
Rehabbing is tough. It's
in here like that, but see, that's coming from somebody who's probably never stepped on an athletic field in his life. You know what I mean?
He used to be a basketball player, but he was never like great.
He was just what I mean, like ever had to experience like any type of adversity or anything like that.
Serious injury.
It's like come on, man. Like I know people that have hurt, that have seriously injured their knees and shoulders, and it's a half a year, like it's a grueling 5, 6, 8 months to, you know what I mean? And
in this case, it's been 4 years on and off with just injury after injury for him. And I go through chronic pain. It is that great, fun, to be honest. And his is probably 10 times worse than mine, and I can't imagine that. And I can't imagine playing football with that type of pain. Like he was probably looking at that reality and going, "Yeah, no."
And it probably doesn't it's like you see like Jim Irsay's like Zeus just said, it's unacceptable. It is like it's absolutely unacceptable, Zeus. Like when your own organization does not back you, and the owner comes out and it's like no, no, I'm not gonna risk my last 35 years of life for the next 15 for for an organization that clearly is not backing him 100%.
And Luck is a high IQ guy. He went to Stanford. I don't know how much that means anymore, but at the same time,
dude, football IQ in this league means everything.
Well, I exactly football IQ, but I mean my point was going to be that he doesn't need football to make money. He'll probably go on and
he's smart in you were saying like he's
smart. He's so smart in general that he'll probably make money. He doesn't need to be a quarterback in the NFL. He's a smart guy. Dude, he doesn't need to use his body. Yeah, he got straight A's in Stanford too. I'm pretty sure he got good grades in Stanford. So he's a smart dude. Like he doesn't need this shit. He doesn't need Jim Irsay's ass.
That probably weighed into why he was just like, you know what, man, enough.
Exactly, I agree. And
he's not the only. In the past, I think I remember. There's been other players that have come out of Indy and said like what's that punter, the Indianapolis punter there that used to punt there forever? What's his name? McAfee has even said like the front office is it's awful, like it's a joke.
Yeah, it might have been better lately, but it's too late.
Well, they got rid of Irsay. They got rid of not Irsay. They got rid of Gregson. It's that front office is clueless. So like that's why like people like having a good front office is why these players go to these. Why do you think players go to these teams where they know that they're going to be backed, and they know like the coach has got their, the coach and the owner are going to have their back. That's why players take discounts to come to New England, because Robert Kraft.
That's why Brady didn't want to leave.
And Bill Belichick, no matter what, dude, like you see what's going on with Patrick Chung. They're like, look, we're not passing any judgment until we find out the truth, like what's going on. Like they're not gonna crucify him, because what if they're wrong?
Exactly. And I mean, we won't get into that, like that whole thing. We can if you want, but at the same time, I'm definitely looking at that.
I don't believe any of that story. I don't know about you, JD, but I
even
think
if it's true, me
and you were in the same boat. I don't believe there's more holes in that story than Swiss cheese, man.
That's what I'm saying. There's hole after hole, and not only that, but do they even have the right to be there and look for that? That's a whole other issue in and of itself. And if I'm his lawyer, I'm using that in a heartbeat.
And this is why I think even dude, I live in Massachusetts, and I'm telling you, it's been quiet. It's been absolutely quiet. There's not, it's like there's no breaking. There's
just gonna go away.
Yeah, there's no hourly updates. There's none of that, bro. I'm telling you, it's.
If I'm the judge, I'm just throwing this right out of the. I'll be like, why were you looking in there?
Yeah,
that's what I would say. If I'm the judge, I'd be like, well, according to the Fourth Amendment, you didn't have probable cause, so
this will not make it past like the trial. Like it's not going to go past the trial.
I don't think it will either.
No, there's no.
I'd be shocked.
There's no.
I'd
way.
be upset actually if it went past the trial. I would actually be like, what's wrong with our justice system?
That's what I mean. So but anyway, but that's why players like they go to these teams where they know that they're going to be, supported,
taken care of and stuff. That's why Peyton Manning went to Denver. And one more thing about Andrew Luck that I remember looking at, reading about, is a lot of people are overlooking this in the mainstream media, that his father is an owner / commissioner. He's invested in the XFL with Vince McMahon. That's what a lot of people aren't looking into too.
Is it his father or his uncle? I thought it
his father, Oliver.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was his uncle or something. I didn't think it was his dad. All right, so it is his father.
Yes, his father, Oliver. Yes, he used to be in the NFL. He's the CEO of and commissioner of the XFL. And a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, the Pro Football Talk wrote a little article, a tiny little article about this that I read, and it was about
the XFL. It's instant credibility.
That's what it was. He'd be a superstar in the XFL, and he would make everyone look. He would make the XFL look really good.
He would whoever team he was on, they would it would be a juggernaut, instant juggernaut, because they would actually have they'd
protect the guy too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, not only that, they would give him the best off. They would give him the best of the best that they could.
And there's a chance he won't do that. There's a chance he won't play football again. There's a chance that we've seen the very last of Andrew Luck. And if that's the case, that's pretty sad. But at the same time, we have to get over that.
29 years old. 29.
Yeah, he's very young. But I don't blame him at all. If I had a lacerated kidney and a knee injury and a shoulder injury and like 19 other injuries that he had, Jordan Love has a piece about all the injuries he had.
I
wouldn't do it either.
I don't think they didn't announce it, but here's my thought, right? I don't think they wanted it to get out, but I think his so-called lower leg injury was an Achilles, and they didn't want to admit it, or they didn't want it to get out because they wouldn't let him throw because they were asked about it like 3 times and they danced around. They would never really, say what they said calf, but your Achilles is in your, I think it was an Achilles. And
why was his foot wrapped? Why was his ankle wrapped?
That's what I mean. Like what you saw where the wrap was, it wasn't on his upper, it wasn't on his upper leg. It was on the ankle. Mm-hmm. It was on the lower leg and the ankle. And ruptured Achilles are a 1.5 year long injury to come back from.
And he's had so many injuries. I mean, he really has. Peyton Manning had a lot of injuries, and his last 2 injuries were really horrific, obviously. But Peyton Manning didn't have a lacerated kidney, and he didn't have to go through 4 years of rehab like Luck has. And that really sucked. Like, people underestimate how long that is. That's 4 years of
pain,
basically
constant
pain. And because that's what rehab is. You push your body through it. I don't even have to do the intense rehab he had to do, and I know that it fucking hurts it effing hurts sometimes, guys. Like, excuse my language, it hurts. So having to do that for 4 years and knowing
when you blow your knee out, like, you see what they have, like they stretch and bend and twist that ligament to get it, to act the way it should.
Their rehab is hard.
That shit hurts, man. That hurts. Yeah. That is not a fun experience.
He's been balding. You notice that? Andrew Luck's been balding lately. He's only 29. He's been balding, man.
He's probably stressed out of his mind.
He's stressed as fuck. He's so tired, I bet, of just constant strain on his body. I can't imagine. I can only, like, the guy's 20. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Gronk. Gronk, yeah, he got beat up too.
People. I mean, for those of you who don't realize, Gronkowski's 29 years old, same age as Luck.
He is young. I forget about that, actually.
And here's another thing too. It's like, you wonder why, like, Zeke and these guys are holding out. The shelf life for these guys, for especially running backs, JD,
football players, running backs are the worst of the worst.
They last on average 3 years. They have their rookie contract and one more to get their, you know what I mean?
To get that money. They got to get that money.
As much of, like, people look at it as like a hard-nosed, hard-ass kind of, douchey move to, like, hold out on a team, but it's like, especially if I wouldn't be saying this, and I wouldn't be defending this, Zeke, because his off-the-field antics, he's an idiot. But when you have the talent, what's good, Nick Howard? What's going on, buddy?
What's good, man? When you have that talent, though, you have the leverage.
But that's what I mean. Zeke has all the leverage in this, because he could go to another team and they'll pay him. Another team would absolutely pay him what he's looking for.
I think that the Cowboys definitely should. They should, or rather, Zeke should take the discount, but I don't know if he will.
Well, here's the thing, right? Zeke is worth more than Dak. Easily.
Oh yeah.
That is a no. And if here's the thing, if I pay Zeke, and I'm Jerry Jones, if I pay Zeke, which is probably what they're going to end up doing, because they're not stupid. Jerry Jones knows who matters more to that. They're gonna watch and see if Dak fails. As much as Dak's going to hate it, they're going to be like, look, you're taking the discount, or we'll move. If you don't, no offense, but
they should move.
Deal with it, bro. Like, it is what it is.
Honestly, if I'm the Jones family, I wouldn't have even offered him $30 million.
He is a 18 to $19 million quarterback at the most, at the ceiling.
And he should realize that, take the discount, give the excess money to Cooper and Zeke, and just be happy that you're on the Cowboys, dude. Just be happy that you're on the Cowboys, for real.
Well, and here's the thing too, right? What do you think Brady's been doing for years? Giving the Patriots the discount so they can, like, this year, like this is the first year he hasn't really taken a discount. They owe him. But this is first,
though. It's still a discount.
No,
just
I know
the market jumped.
But here's the thing. So they but this is the most he's been paid in like 15 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's they take that money and they surround him with a team. Like, here, you know what the Patriots do better than everybody else? They don't have like 2 or 3 9.5 or 9.9 or 10 guys. You know what I mean? But they got a whole team of 7s and 8s, and that's how they win. That's how they win all these championships, because they have all the decent guys. They can take those 6.5 to 8.5 player guys and coach them up just good enough to perform, to beat, that, like, and how as long as I've been watching the Patriots, they do not usually blow teams out. They will do just enough to beat. They do what they need to do to beat you, and they conserve their energy for the rest. You know what I mean?
They only blow you out if like if they are like mad at you or something. If you talk shit.
Well, no, it's even that, JD. It's they do just enough to win the game, and they conserve their energy for the next week, and then it's crazy, man. Like, but I mean, that's the NFL.
Patriots are incredible. I mean,
it is, man. But what's next? So what else you got for big news on the list?
Well, really quick, I had 2 basketball questions. If you guys want to get into that, let's see. Do you guys want to stay with NFL or should we go into basketball a little bit? Otherwise, I have a bunch of injuries still. We have a ton of injuries. Let's go with injuries.
So, hey, Nick Howard said it perfect, man. The Patriots play the long game. They will grind you down and steal your will.
That's true. Oh, we can just keep talking Patriots. Let's see who they have injured. Patriots. I am on the butcher's block, so I suppose we got to talk Patriots.
We could talk Pats for a little bit. Let's do it, man.
Nothing wrong with that. Let's see, where the hell?
We could just stick with football in general.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. So the Patriots have a ton of injuries. Probably maybe the most injuries in the league.
They got a lot of people banged up.
They do. They have Benjamin Watson's banged up. Damian Harris is banged up. Steven Anderson's banged up. Lance Kendricks is banged up. Maurice Harris is banged up.
Kendricks, Williams, and what was the other one you just said?
Kendricks and Williams and Watson.
Well, Maurice Harris got released.
Or Damian Harris. Oh, Maurice Harris. Oh, I did say that. Yeah, he just got waived. Oh, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, the Patriots let him
was injured, but he got waived too. And Patrick Chung has a forearm injury, but
we knew that. That's the broken forearm from the Super Bowl. We knew that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the forearm from the Super Bowl. He's still kind of. They're gonna baby that for a while probably.
That's worth it. Demaryius Thomas says he's good to go.
But
he's unlikely to play.
He won't play because he hasn't got much practice time.
He says he's like good, but yeah, we'll see what that means.
Yeah, no, he won't. He probably won't play. He won't play. He might not even play week 1 just to get him. He's still kind of getting acclimated to the team a little bit. But from what I've been hearing, the relationship that Demaryius Thomas have and Tom Brady is really good. So like.
Interesting. I mean, he has that Achilles.
I'm talking how much he has left. Like off the field relationship. Like I guess from what I've been hearing, they're really good friends. Like off the field. So it's
that's Brady throws to his friends. So
he's in the inner circle.
Yeah, that's always good to be in the inner circle. Let's see about rumors though. I'll just look at some rumors around the NFL. So Brady outlasted both Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning.
And Peyton Manning, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I still can't believe he's going, man. That dude's a machine. I've stopped trying to explain. I've literally just stopped trying to explain how he's just maniacal in the way that he does. Like he sticks to that routine religiously as soon as the season starts. It's like ridiculous.
He's pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Like Brady, I mean, I wrote that article about him that's gotten almost 1,500 views. And
hey, listen, guys, if you're not a Patriot fan. So go to rumboyz.com and what's it under, JD?
I'll drop it in the link for him.
Yeah, drop it in the. This is a phenomenal article about Brady.
Well, thank you.
It's true though. It's 100% true, and it describes the way he plays perfectly. Like perfectly.
That's what I was going for. I mean, I've been watching Brady since I can remember, since I was like a little kid. So I definitely have dissected his game a lot. He's not my favorite player and he's not my favorite team, but I have watched him so much in the playoffs that, I mean, geez, if you're a fan of football, you know who the hell Tom Brady is and what he does.
And at this point, dude, right at this point, it's like he has the answers to the test, man. Like he's said it on multiple interviews on radio stations around here. Like it's like there's not too many times where I step up to the line of scrimmage and I can't recognize a blitz or who the mic is. Like
you have to beat him despite that.
That's what I mean. Like you literally,
it's so hard.
Your defense has to be good enough to beat him, even though he knows what you're gonna do. But I will say, as a Patriot fan, the teams that I respect and have a rivalry with are the ones that are not afraid of that. They are not, because here's what happens. Here's what happened to Kansas City, and this is why I cannot take the Chiefs seriously, because they came in there and they did it both games. In the first game they played and in the title game, they peed down their leg in the first 8 minutes of the game and the last 8 minutes of the game.
Yeah, like they're so talented, but they just couldn't manage the clock. They did the little things stupid,
Well, in both games, Mahomes let the spotlight at the beginning of the game get the better of him, and he missed 2 touchdowns in that first game. And in the title game, he missed another one. He overthrew he overthrew a wheel route that would have been a touchdown, and it would have won that game. Like I'm telling you,
he's so good.
The Patriot mystique is what beats half these teams. Like they let the Patriots get in their head.
I think that Andy Reid, like once the script stops for Andy Reid, he kind of like loses his poise, basically. Yeah, exactly. He's not good at ad-libbing. That's a good way of putting it, because Bill Belichick's the opposite. Like he's only good at ad-libbing. Like sometimes his scheme doesn't even work, but he's good at like making halftime adjustments.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, nobody's better this is what makes Bill Belichick the best coach in the NFL. It's this one simple fact. He will make you show everything that he needs to see in the first 2 quarters. He will make you show him everything, because he plays the way that the Patriots play is they play just good enough to stay in the game at half, and they make you show everything. They make you show the trick plays. They make you show it all in the first half. And
they start out slow.
Takes all that film and he will dissect it. And in the 19 seasons I've been watching Brady, they are a second half team. They will decipher, and they will, they take all that film and they do it all in 15 minutes at half, JD. 10 minutes. They take your whole game plan apart in 10 minutes.
And Josh McDaniels is like that too. Like you saw that he wasn't the same coach when he left Bill Belichick, because Josh McDaniels is like a mad genius, but at the same time, he needs like that defensive structure so that to keep his genius alive, because
Bill gives him the structure that he needs to work.
Yeah, like when Bill leaves, I don't think he'll be as good of a coach. I really don't.
No, Josh, no, he won't, because Bill keeps him in like this is your little box to work in. You know what I mean?
He works well in that box, but he
does. But like when you saw what
Bill makes it all work.
You saw what happened when he went to Denver. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did. And that was exactly what I was thinking of. Like, obviously, he had some success in Denver, but you could tell there's a lot of problems and there was a lot of unstructure about that team. And there's a lack of discipline kind of in that team, too. So it's not. Also, people don't respect him that much. That's a problem. People respect him in New England, but for whatever reason elsewhere, they don't respect him near as much. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
Belichick's part of that, man. Because here Belichick runs and you can ask former players, ask Teddy Bruschi, ask Ty. I'm telling you, ask Ty Law, the Hall of Famer now, Ty Law.
Runs tight ship.
They will tell you that he does not put up with any type of BS when the season's around. And
that works.
It's all business. You are all, you're from the minute the first whistle goes off to the 000 on the clock. It's business.
And there is one more thing I definitely want to get to before we go with the rest of the injuries, before we do anything else, really quick, because we didn't get to talk about it on Rumboyz After Dark because people were so interested in the football talk, and I love football, don't get me wrong, but I want to talk about these 2 things really quick. And the first one is DeMarcus Cousins tears his ACL, and
dude,
that's
Golden
a huge
State
deal.
this year is screwed.
What's that?
Golden State is going to be up a creek this year.
You think so? They lost Cousins and KD.
But that's what I mean. They lost. Well, KD's the big one. They lost Durant. Yeah. They still have Curry there, but his buddy there, Thompson's not coming. He's
Klay Thompson will be back till February.
That's what I mean. He's not going to be back until 3/4 of the way through the season. Like Curry's going to have to be, Curry's going to have to do it all on his own.
He will. Well, D'Angelo Russell, and a lot of people are just dismissing that one. But I think Russell will be interesting.
Step down though from Thompson.
Huge step down. But will he add another dimension to that team? That's kind of where I'm at. Like, what if they have two guys who can kind of put it on the floor? And you could argue that D. Russell is a little bit quicker than Curry in Curry's older age. Not that Curry's old, but like sometimes it's good to have youth. You know what I mean? Like you look at the way Trae Young dominated LeBron James when they first played. That was kind of like what I was thinking with D. Russell. He could do that to a lot of people.
You know what I bet they're going to use now is that ball will not go anywhere near the paint. They're just going to swing that around the perimeter until it's either, I'm telling you, 3-pointers or mid to long range jumpers. They don't have anybody down low anymore. Cousins is out. I should say nobody reliable. They signed Howard, but how reliable is he? Not really.
Howard who?
Dwight Howard, I think.
Oh, that's you're talking about the Lakers now.
Oh no, excuse me, the Lakers. But no, I'm getting them mixed up. That's my bad. The depth for the depth at center, the big men for the Warriors, it's not.
Yeah. I think they have Bogut still.
Yeah, but he's not reliable.
He's not reliable. Yeah, you're right. They don't have McGee anymore. Here, I'm going to look at their full roster really quick.
And here's the thing, like Bogut, he doesn't know. Like he doesn't know how to, he doesn't know how to play a true center.
Yeah. He plays old school basically, and he's more of a rim protector more than anything else.
He's so slow though, so slow. And that is not like slow is not the that's
ideal.
Not the Warriors game. You know what I mean?
They have Willie Cauley-Stein.
Warriors don't slow games down and grind people down.
Is that who they're hoping to win with, Willie Cauley-Stein?
But that's what I mean. They don't like the Warriors don't do that. That's an offense that runs at 100 miles an hour.
I agree. I think they have a problem down low. I think that Durant definitely provided them some sort of big presence. And then one more basketball question, then we can go back to football and wrap the show up because this is a nice little show we should do multiple times a week. I appreciate having your opinions on all this stuff and your enthusiasm. It's really nice. Helps me get collected. And so my second question.
It's all good, JD.
It's about Carmelo Anthony and Jeremy Lin. I've been saying this for like months that Melo, well now Jeremy Lin too, but like I've been saying that Melo needs to go to China. Dude, you could make $20 million to $40 million in China.
They could
plus win titles.
They would take him over there simply because of the name.
Oh yeah, he would win though. I think Melo in China would dominate those guys. I really do. Just look at how they played against the summer leaguers.
But this is so China. He could even go to like the Croatian leagues too. You know what I mean?
I don't know if they'd pay as much, but maybe
the European leagues too. Even if he wanted to, I mean, but they would pay like the name value alone, just the name alone.
And you would redeem yourself a little bit. You would have a little bit of respect. Like Jimmer Fredette, for instance. He's come in and out of the NBA because of all of his stuff in China. He's making $40 million a year in China. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Dude can just freaking ball, bro. Like he's in China just sitting here just like balling. And people in China love the guy. He's selling stuff. He's making all this money. And nobody talks about him around here because he's not in the NBA. But if Melo went to China, he's way better than Jimmer Fredette. I don't care what anybody says.
They would probably give him a $60 million contract.
Dude, I'm saying That's what I'm saying. Well, why not? If you really love basketball, that's what I mean. He doesn't love basketball. He loves the fame, dude. That's what these guys love. They love the fame. They love the stardom in America, but they would never go out and be a real basketball player overseas. You know what I mean? Like where it's more raw.
See, that's the thing. Like he would actually have to perform and play.
Yeah, he would have to win.
And if he wasn't like here's the thing, like everybody in the US knows that like they know his MO now, you know what I mean? So it's like, but if he ever tried to pull that in the, you know, in the Euro leagues or even in the Chinese league, like they wouldn't put up with that. They would cut him. They'd be like, no, you're done, dude. Like
over there?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I feel like you could find a team that would just be like, all right, Melo, what do you want us to do? I really do. And I think that Melo would win with that type of ball. He's not good in the pace and space league.
That's
what I'm saying. The competition is not even close to the NBA.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think about that a lot where I'm just like, I love all these other leagues. I even watched some of them sometime and I'm just like, why would you not go there? Stephon Marbury did it and he has a statue outside, I think it's Hong Kong or one of these
the Hong Kong stadium there or whatever it is, right? Yeah, their basketball
statue. Why would you want a statue, bro? Like you want a big legacy? Go to another country and make a legacy. Jeremy Lin, go to another country and average 20 points a game and be a star. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. Like people are just like, oh, I want America. I just want America. I want all this stuff. So I don't know.
But see, I
love basketball. So
but you know what? Those Euro leagues, those guys come over here and they could be like on a scale from 1 to 5, they could be like a 4.5 in the Euro League, and then they get over here and
they're like below average bench players. They ride the bench.
They're like a 3 to a 3.5.
Jimmer Fredette could barely play when he signed with the Suns earlier this year, but they still gave him some money because he wanted to test it out and he wasn't doing anything. So Deuce says the Marbury blueprint. I can't talk. 100, but I want to see Melo in the NBA. I don't want to see Melo in the NBA personally, Deuce. I mean, I appreciate that you do, and that's fine. I don't want to see it anymore because I've seen it. I know what he does. He's like, he doesn't evolve. He needs to go and take that old game or go to the big three, but he won't make near as much in the big three as he would in the Chinese league.
He would make money in the big three because of the name, Carmelo.
They can maybe pay him a little extra. Sorry.
No, they would. They would probably pay him a little. They would give him a little bit of a bump.
I think they all make like $100K. But anyway, what do you want to talk about, man?
Well, I don't know, man. What about the revamped Celtics? What do you think of them?
The Celtics, bro. I think it's interesting. They're really small. That's a problem I have with them. But
very small, I
don't like how Tatum's kind of evolved. He hasn't evolved very well.
I'm in the same boat as you. I have my concerns this year about them.
I think if Hayward can be a really good player, then they can make a serious run. But I also don't like. I mean, here's the thing: if they face the Celtics or rather the Warriors, if it was the Warriors versus the Celtics. Excuse me. If it was the Warriors versus the Celtics, give me the Celtics because they're younger and they have a little bit more on the perimeter. But if it's I'm just assuming they make it to the finals. But if it's the Celtics versus like the Lakers or a bigger team like that, even
Ron and AD would give them trouble.
Yeah, the size or Kawhi and Paul George. Oh my God, they would get destroyed. It'd be like a 5-game series. We'd get destroyed.
I know.
So.
They desperately need two solid big men, and they don't have them.
Yeah. They need. Didn't they lose Baines too?
They did. They lost Baines.
They lost Horford.
Baines defensively was really good for them.
And then they don't have that one guy who's in Miami anymore. I forgot his name. The guy with the long hair. So they don't have a lot of good guys that they used to have.
In the last couple of years, they've lost a lot of defensive guys. A lot.
Nick says defensively they worry me. They worry me too defensively. Sure.
Nick, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. They absolutely they I think they're going to have no problem putting points up, but it's on the other end of the floor that they're gonna struggle, I think. And here's the thing: this is a make or break year for Gordon Hayward for me.
It is.
If Hayward does not return to the form that we saw him in Utah, then it's time to move on from him. It's time to move on.
The sad thing is, it might take him a few more years. Hey, what's up,
Redneck
Preppers?
What's up?
Redneck Preppers. But it might take him a few years. Gordon Hayward is not like an elite athlete. I don't think. I think he's just a good athlete, and so like it could take him a little bit longer than it would take most people, and that really sucks for the Celtics because you're locked in for like $27 million a year or something or whatever it is.
See,
So
Jordan. Nick Howard, like me and him are on the same page because like Embiid, like teams like Philly and teams like the Bucks, where they're big, like they're big down low. Those teams, like when they get into because the Celtics will make the playoffs. It's just a matter of what seed they're going to be at.
Right.
Philly and the Bucks are the two teams that worry me because they're just huge down low, and I
think the Bucks are going back.
It wouldn't honestly this year. It would not surprise me if Milwaukee goes back.
I think Milwaukee goes to the finals, and or not back, but like back to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think they win the finals. Or not the final. I think they win the Eastern Conference Finals, and they get to the finals. But in the finals, I think that Kawhi and Paul George is going to eat them up.
I was just I was going to say, like, the kind of team that I think a lot of people are sleeping on this year is the Clippers, man. You add two guys, two Grizzly vets like George and Kawhi
in their prime.
That's what I mean. And those young kids that are on the Clippers they're hungry, man. So like you add that aspect of that to the Clippers game. They're like the battle of LA now, like, Lakers and Clippers now that's going to be must see TV because Kawhi and George versus Bron and AD, that's going to be a battle, man.
I'm just going to say something real quick. And if we got some LeBron lovers in the chat, I'm sorry, but like, here's what it is. LeBron and AD still got to prove to me, one, that's going to work. Two, that they're going to even compete for a playoff spot, and then three, if they can get to the finals. Because, I'm telling you,
shut it down last year.
What's that?
I saw LeBron. I saw LeBron literally shut it down last year.
Dude, LeBron, he's so old, and everyone wants, and he's all like, "Don't touch the throne" and stuff. Dude, you're like 50. Like, get out of here.
But you know what I mean. Like, you could tell 3/4 of the way through the season, he like mentally he had checked out.
Yeah, I saw it on defense. He doesn't give a crap. Like, what makes you think that this year, as if you're a Lakers fan, what makes you think that this year all of a sudden it's just going to be like, oh, I haven't played defense for 2 years, but I'm going to play defense? No, like, he hasn't played defense for 2 years. He's gotten used to that. He's going to expect AD to play all the defense, and if AD doesn't play good defense, he's probably going to complain and blame it on AD and say,
I was just going to say Bron could get on him, and that might not sit well with Davis.
Nick Howard says everyone's sleeping on the Pacers. That's my dark horse finals team.
Nick, I think the Pacers are still two players away.
I was gonna say they need at least one more star.
I think there's still two solid bench players away.
I like Sabonis. I like Oladipo. Brogdon.
See, the Pacers can't play their style of offense against the bigger team, like against the Bucks and against the Lakers. They can't play that because they you know what I equate the Pacers kind of play to. You know how when baseball teams play small ball, to get runs. Yeah. That's kind of what I equate the Pacers offense to. And when you come up against a team that's like I don't think like they can play their style against these bigger teams in the NBA.
Who in the playoffs is going to match up with the Clippers? That's what I want to know. And I don't think anybody has an answer for me.
I think defensively on the East for the Eastern, the Eastern Conference, I think like let's say the Clippers did get there from the West. A Clippers Bucks matchup would be really interesting.
It'd be good, but like the Bucks, dude. Something I saw. This is what I was thinking about earlier. Something I saw. And by the way, what's up, QC? Good to see you as always. Something I saw with Kawhi is he dominated Giannis every single time Giannis had the ball and Kawhi was on him. He gave him trouble. I didn't see that with anyone else Giannis had to face. So that's a problem. Giannis has to prove he can beat Kawhi.
Well, Kawhi's like, dude, Kawhi's a machine.
He's a superstar. He is a defensive monster.
If anybody deserves like a super max, like you know what he is? He's the Mike Trout of the NBA.
Yeah, the quiet, deadly legend.
He's the Mike Trout of the NBA.
He is.
And if anybody deserves that super max contract, it's that dude.
Absolutely. I think he deserves as much money as you can give him. Nick Howard says, I'm a Cavs fan, and I kind of like Bron, but I could tell after he went back from 3-1 in 2016, he doesn't have that drive or hunger anymore. I agree, man.
Absolutely. No, 100%, Nick. 100%.
He can offensively dominate you, but on defense, he's not the same dude. And that's just not, I don't know. It's not as good to watch when it's not as good to watch when you've seen him do what he can do, you know. It's sad to watch because you want to see him be as good as he could possibly be. And I feel like LeBron, you got a bow and arrow. LeBron just doesn't. Oh, I'm not in any way LeBron sexual, but he's from here, and I respect him, and I'm glad. Yeah, no, I respect the crap out of LeBron. When it's all said and done, LeBron is at least top 5, if not the second best player of all time.
Hey, so we got 2 out of the 3 brochachos in here.
Brochacho.
We need no. Nick Howard knows what I'm talking about. The brochachos need to be on this show as well.
That sounds awesome. I don't. What's a brochacho? Explain.
The Free Amigos need to come on this show. We need QC, Nick Howard, and Crazy Mofo with us on one of these shows.
I love those guys. All 3 of them. Beast.
One of the shows we need that needs to happen. We'll call it Sports Talk with the Brochachos.
With the yes, let's do it. Sports Talk with the Brochachos. That sounds freaking awesome. Oh my goodness. Brochacho Sports Channel.
You know what I'm gonna enjoy this year too about the NBA is the dispersion of talent this year. It's gonna like there's no more super teams. There's no more super teams.
I'm excited. I think anyone you say Bruchachos, and we usually also it does sound fun, QC. But dude, I am so with you on that. I am so with you. There's like half of the NBA has a duo that you can watch and be like, all right, you might actually, there's a sliver of a chance for each of these duos. Do I still think that the Warriors are heavily favored? Of course.
Obviously, because of, obviously.
They're just winners. They're winners. And like Steph Curry is a winner. And Klay Thompson, even though he's going to be hurt, is a winner. Draymond Green, winner. But they're lacking in size.
As much of like a little asshat as I think he is, Draymond Green holds that team together.
He gets it done. He gets the little things done.
That's what I mean. Like he's the glue that holds all those freaking attitudes to get together.
He does the things that other people just can't do a lot of times.
And I like those like scrappy dude, like those scrappy kind of guys that like will follow. He'll dive for basketballs. He'll, I mean, he's not afraid.
He'll give you a hard foul. Make it look like an accident.
but that's what I mean. Like I like those scrappy guys.
Me too. You need that guy.
You need that guy. You need that those one or two guys on a team to like. He's the attitude. He's the attitude of the Warriors.
He keeps them like, hey bro, we're like champions. He keeps that mentality in all of their heads. Even though a lot of them aren't champions, and that's why he yells at KD. People are like, "Oh, he's just yelling at KD because he's like a bully or something." No, dude,
he's firing him up. He knows what Draymond knows what he's doing. He's pushing his buttons to get him to play better.
And if KD can't respond to that, maybe he's not actually a winner. You ever think like that's what I always thought too? Like KD, everyone wants to assume that just because he's talented, he's also a winner. Dude, some people just aren't wired correctly to win. Like they don't have the competitive drive. And if Draymond recognizes that you're kind of being a bitch, then he's going to yell at you.
He was pushing KD's buttons to keep him playing at a high level.
And then KD didn't really rise to the challenge. He to be fair, in the finals, he obviously played as hard as he could have. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But, like, he said, I'm out, bro. I'm going to leave. And then he left. So clearly something in there, he didn't like that method of approach. KD doesn't seem like a guy that likes to be pushed.
You know what's going to be funny, too? Let's say KD goes to the Knicks, right? And let's say his play drops off a little bit. Mm-hmm. You're going to know that Draymond pushing him like that is what caused him. Draymond constantly pushing him to be good is what drove, Draymond pushing him like that is what drove him to play like that,
Yes.
To keep the competitive juices up and keep playing like that. Like take no damn days off, Well,
as far as I'm concerned, Draymond, what he was doing to KD was working. Okay, because they won multiple titles. Until KD wins without those guys, then he's wrong and they're right, basically, because they won without him. So they already have that on him. I'm sitting here like they don't like when Draymond said to him, "Listen, we don't need you, man." He wasn't lying. He was saying that to be like 100% real. He's like, dude, like we want you, but you're not gonna sit here and tell us how to play. We're not gonna be an ISO game with you because we're so much better at this game. Like. Basketball is not meant to be played like Kevin Durant wants to play it, like LeBron wants to play it, like James Harden wants to play it. It's not meant to be like that. It's meant to be played like the Warriors play it. Pass, like the Celtics play it, have always played it.
Dude, the Celtics play it down and hard nose, and you know what I mean? Like they're not afraid to throw it down low. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Nick says, they're not. They play the game how it's supposed to be played. Thanks, Nick. Preach, man. I'll keep preaching, but we'll both keep preaching, dude. The Celtics, the way Kyrie was playing with the Celtics, that was, if you're a Boston hardcore Celtic fan, you're mad because that's not how you play it. You're supposed to just play the game like who's the open man, like old school, just pass. Like,
and if the open pass is a dunk down low, then take the damn dunk down low.
And Kyrie, what was he? Literally, I would watch a game. I remember this. I'd just turn it on and be like, all right, let's see what Kyrie's going to do. And I'd watch it, and it would be like literally dribble, like a million dribbles. And then he would take a elbow like jumper. And it's just like, what is that?
That's Kyrie looks out for nobody but himself.
Yeah, he thinks he's James Harden because James Harden makes that look good. He makes that I'm going to dribble a million times then make a long jumper. He makes that look good. Kyrie does not make it look good. He makes it look disgusting.
You want to know what I think part of Kyrie's problem is?
What's that?
He thought he could be a number one guy.
He did. He thought he's Kobe.
He thought he could be a number one guy. They gave him a number one guy. They gave him number one guy status. They gave him number one guy responsibilities. They gave him the ability to lead a team and said, "This team is yours to lead. Here you go." And you know what? You know what he probably can't admit, and why he's so mad about it. He can't admit that he can't do it. He can't.
Of course not. Yeah. I feel like going to the Nets was admitting that.
That's exactly how people around Nick. JD. That's exactly how people around here looked at it. Like he's basically admitted that he
can't lead this team.
He couldn't handle the spotlight. That
was a great team. You got young talent, you got old talent, you got Horford, you had
a perfect mix of old and young players and an excellent coach. And no offense, but you came in there and you fucked it up. Like,
you did fuck it up.
How could you do that? Like, you could not. If you're Kyrie Irving, how could you not be walking into a better scenario? Good coach, good young talent, good old talent, solid team. The team made the finals the year before. Like this was your year to be like, look, we're going to the finals, bro. We're bringing another title home.
Kyrie's ISO game only works with LeBron because LeBron makes it work. And Nick Howard just said, "What's up, Karam?" Nick Howard just said, "I was happy to let Kyrie walk from Cleveland because he's a playground player, and I didn't like getting him, Thomas, and Crowder back. But I know I'm dreaming, but I wanted Dame for Kyrie. See, that would be crazy if you had Dame and LeBron in Cleveland.
Dude, good luck stopping that team.
That's like 4 titles right there.
because here's the thing, right? Dame and LeBron would actually feed off of one another.
Oh yeah, they would feed off each other perfectly because Dame would have a wide open spaced floor, and then LeBron would have a wide open spaced floor half the time. So
you would have to pick your poison because both of them are well-rounded shooters in any place on the court. So it's like, who do you if they're running like a 2-3, who do you
that's a dark horse team.
But that's what I mean. Who do you cover? Who would you double? Who do you help? That would have been an insane team.
I was so confused why the Lakers wanted AD. It just didn't make any sense to me. I would want Bradley Beal or Damian Lillard or nobody else. Like if I'm LeBron James and I'm like trying to pick a teammate, I want a guy who can handle the ball and can space the floor for me and make my job easier. An upgraded version of Kyrie. But like it's really unfortunate.
If I was the Lakers, I would have offered Damian Lillard every cent I could.
Well, I mean, all it is they needed to pull him away from the Blazers. What do you do with that? You probably give up what you gave up for AD. Like nothing else, honestly. They gave up like four draft picks and like 5 players.
So yeah, like Nick Howard just said let's say you had Dame and LeBron, and then you add Kevin Love into that stretch.
You give him the much needed rest he needs, have him down low with the post moves. You have a completely spaced floor from top to bottom. And then he says, Karam says, my Thunder are rebuilding right now with those draft picks. Yeah, man, the Clippers gave up the house. But that's the thing. The Clippers are smart because they're probably going to get a few titles out of this. If not 1, then 2.
I'll be honest with you, Stevie. I would like to see the Clippers win one this year. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
That's right. Good to see you, QC. Thanks for joining us, bro. I wouldn't mind the Clippers winning, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Thunder good with different players.
QC, the Brochachos After Dark is definitely happening. We will work on that. Absolutely.
That sounds awesome. That's awesome.
The 5 of us on a late night. Oh yeah, that's definitely happening. We'll definitely work that out.
Hell yeah. Well, what other topics do you got, man? We're at over an hour here, but we can probably fit in a couple more.
We'll do 1 or 2 more. What about the pass interference? Challenging the pass interferences in the NFL. How do you think that's going to work? Do you think that's going to work this year?
I don't know. I feel like we're going to have one problem with it, and maybe it'll help 1 or 2 things. But I feel like we're going to have more problem. I don't know, man. It's very possible.
Slow the game. I think personally, I think it's going to slow it down.
It very well could, and we don't need a slower game. Karam says, "What about the Zeke situation?" We can definitely get into that too. But I am with you. I think it could slow the game down, and I hope it doesn't because of the Rams and
throwing red flags as soon as the guy even let's say a finger catches the jersey or something. You know what I mean? Like something stupid like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is a Bears helmet. Yeah, exactly. And we're doing this all. A helmet catching jersey, and like everything will become so tedious. I think you definitely got to limit it. You got to limit how much you do it. Yes, Xerox, thanks for joining us. It is a Bears helmet. And you got to limit it for sure. And I think it's a little bit outrageous to be doing all this just for the one call. You know what I mean? Like there was one call.
All this is payback for that Saints blown call. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's I don't like that. I don't like when the league bends over because of one team. That's what's up, Sirix. Go Bear.
Instead of putting this in, they should have publicly come out and said we blew the call.
They should have. Why not?
They should have publicly come out and said we blew this call. We're sorry.
It's human error. That's how it goes.
But
that's how it goes.
They did everything they could to avoid that press conference at all. It's like, just come out, admit you blew it, and then in 2 weeks it'll go away.
Yeah, exactly. If you just admit you failed, in 2 weeks, you're right. It would go away. It would seriously go away. People are like, well, remember when they messed that up? Okay, then that'd be the end of it.
Well,
Nobody would care.
So here's the thing, right? This is, if I would like this. This is JD. How many times have we seen the NFL handle shit so ass backwards? It's
they do.
It's brutal.
They're so stupid. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
No, it is. It's brutal. Like this new pass interference thing. I'm just saying they're gonna take it so like they're gonna take 5 minutes to review a pass interference like.
It's honestly, you know what it is? It's more commercials. It's more commercial breaks. Nobody likes that.
It's just a way for them to get more ad revenue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
like
they're like, oh, hey, more way to get ad revenue. Let's do it.
Well, they don't need any they need any more money. You know what I mean? It's insane.
Let's address what these guys want to talk about, but I definitely agree with you completely. I think it's going to slow down the game 100%.
I don't think it will last either. They might even get
take it back
a couple of years, maybe 2 years.
Either take it back or revise it. I bet they're going to revise it.
Yeah.
Nick says the Blazers need a stretch and a wing before they join the Clippers. I thought Kawhi might go to Portland after moving some money around. What would you guys have thought about that trio? I'll just be quick with that one. I would have think that would have won the NBA Finals easily.
Hands down.
Without question. Kawhi and Dame?
Oh, my God. Forget about it.
It's over. It is over. That would have been the best team in a long time for sure.
That literally would have been the best starting five in probably 5 years.
Yeah, I agree. And then Karam says, what about the Zeke situation? I was thinking of Dak. But what about the Zeke situation? I've already said my take, and that's I think he should take a discount. I think he should take a little bit less money to play with them. What about you?
Well, I mean, perfect example of this. It's look at DeMarco Murray. He ran behind that Dallas offensive line, and they made him look like a stud. They made him look like a star, a superstar. And then he went to Philly and he got shown, and Philly's line is above that. Like Philly's line is good. It's in the top probably 12 in the league. You know what I mean? But it's
Marco Murray.
But it's no, the line, the Dallas, the Philadelphia line is good, but it's not Dallas's line. Dallas's line is phenomenal. They're on a different level.
It's a top three line. For sure.
It's easily a top 2 offensive line in the league. It's Zeke should. I mean, is he worth what he's asking for? Yes, he is. He is worth it. He's
on a bad team.
But you have to Zeke has to realize if you want to win a Super Bowl, it's not always about you, bro. It's about
if you can take
it's about the team around you. It's about the team around you. Take that discount and let the ownership let them pay Van Der Esch in 2 years. Let them go. Use that capital to keep. Make sure that defense. How much money is Leighton Van Der Esch gonna after his rookie contract runs out in 2 years? I believe. How much money? That dude's probably top 3 behind Miles Jack. I'd be willing to say he's one of the best linebackers in the league.
I'm with you, and the thing is, you're gonna have to pay him, and also this is what I always thought about too with Zeke, especially Zeke and everyone else who plays for the Cowboys. You're playing on a team that everyone in the whole world would love to play on. Everyone, and I'm not me personally. I'm a Bears fan, so I'd rather play on the Bears. But let's be real. If I was in the NFL draft and I got drafted by the Cowboys, I'm a Cowboys fan for life, especially because the Cowboys are the hugest. They're one of the biggest
by far one of the biggest NFL fan bases out there.
They're the number one revenue generator in the world.
JD, it's the Patriots and the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're the number one. So I'm looking at it like this. If I'm Zeke, I'm saying, hey, Jerry Jones, I'll take a little bit less money, but you're going to hook me up for the rest of my life with business deals and all this stuff. Nick says in 2016, what's a catch? 2018 was what's a tackle? 2019 is what's a pass interference.
It's so true. Like
that is true.
It's only,
Savage.
in my opinion, it's only going to slow the game down. It's not going to help.
I agree.
Basically, the NFL, Jedi, and if you're watching this, I'm sorry, Last Jedi, and Goose, I know you guys are Saints fans, but the NFL threw them a bone. They threw them a bone.
They're so reactionary. They're so like everyone's emotional. Like, oh, we lost, and it was this reason, and now we need to change the rules. Like, get the fuck over it.
But here's the thing: did the Saints get screwed over?
Of course.
Absolutely, they got screwed. They got hosed.
Teams get screwed over every year. That's how it happens.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they got absolutely hosed. But at the same time, like this is going to hurt the product.
Yeah, it is. It is going to hurt the product. Xerox was asking, unless do you have any more comments about the Saints and everything like that? Because Xerox had another topic.
My final word with Zeke is legacy, bro. Legacy. Take the freaking discount. Take the discount. Let them keep that offensive line around you. Let them keep Leighton Vander Esch. Let them build that D the way they've been building it. And dude, literally run yourself through that line into the record books.
And if I think everything's happening perfectly too. Then I'm going to end with just this is my. I think everything's happening perfectly too. I think that the Jones family's being really, really smart with this. They're saying, all right, Dak, you think you're worth like 35, 40 mil? Prove it. All right, Zeke, we're going to hold you and wait and see, if we need to pay you that much money. I think they're handling it perfectly. The Cowboys, this is a year they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but this will be an experimental year for what's happening in the future. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm doing exactly what Jerry Jones did, paying Byron Jones and everyone else.
Absolutely. Because do I understand why Zeke is trying to do what he's doing? Do I understand the reasoning behind it? I get it. I get why he's doing it. But at the same time, bro, dude, he has the potential to be the next Emmitt Smith. Take the discount and legitimately run yourself into the record books with that offensive line. Keep that line surrounding you and let them let LVE get some money and keep that good defense around. Like if I'm Zeke, you have to think of the long run, dude. Like if you ever want to win a Super Bowl, Zeke, you take the discount. If you want to think solely about yourself, if you want to think solely about yourself, then yeah, you're going to be looking for the money. But if you're thinking Super Bowl and I want, a Super Bowl and legacy, then you're going to take a little bit of a discount. That's just my. If you
win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys, you're a legend forever. You don't ever need to do anything ever again. Just chill in Dallas the rest of your life. You'll be good.
I mean, if he runs the Cowboys to a Super Bowl, you know what I mean?
Legend,
yeah,
forever.
They'll build a fucking statue of him.
Yeah, they'll build a fucking. Yeah, he's Emmitt Smith Jr. That's seriously. If they win a Super Bowl, he'll be praised.
It's going to be on him and Amari Cooper's backs. It's going to be on him and Cooper's backs. They're going to win the Super Bowl if they ever win one. That's how they're going to win it.
So Xerox was asking us about the. I agree with that. Xerox is asking us about the World Cup team, the USA Men's Basketball World Cup team, and he says USA will have a hard time at the FIBA World Cup. Did you guys see the roster? Let me tell you the roster if you don't know it. Do you know the roster?
I've seen about 75% of it, not the whole.
It's basically
thing.
the Boston Celtics. No, I'm just kidding.
I know there's a ton of guys from the Celtics on it.
There's a lot of them. We got Harrison Barnes. It's all right. Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
Joe Harris, pretty good. Brooke Lopez.
Yep.
Chris Middleton. Donovan Mitchell, who's been balling out. And then we got Mason Plumlee, who's okay.
I know who that is.
And then Marcus Smart. Jason Tatum, he's been okay on the USA basketball team. I haven't loved his game.
I've heard he's struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't loved what he's done. Miles Turner, who just signed with my Bulls, and then Kemba Walker. So we got like 4 Celtics already.
Did Turner sign with your Bulls?
Yes, Miles Turner signed with the. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it was Miles Turner. Miles Turner.
Did he?
What the Miles Turner? He says he's on the Pacers. Who signed with the Bulls then?
I don't think I was thinking.
Maybe I'm wrong about that. Either way, Miles Turner. You guys know who that is.
Yep.
Nick says, "What do you guys think of the Big Three in Utah?" Well, really quick, we'll go with this. We'll talk about this team. I think. Well, they've already lost to Australia.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. They've. I've heard. I have been hearing that Tatum has struggled in the World Cup.
He's had his issues, and it's definitely not good. They might lose this one, legitimately.
I mean, not to go trace back to where we were talking before, but this is another maker. This is a make or break year for him too. If I don't see significant growth from him as a player, I'm gonna be worried, to be honest.
I'm with you. Jason Tatum looked like he was going to be Kobe Jr. in his rookie year, and since then he's never evolved.
He fell flat on his face in the second year.
Yeah, he's just been the same kind of like inside out mid range player, and honestly, that's a game
because he's been hanging out with Kobe too much.
It's just not a good idea. You shouldn't hang out with Kobe. He's an old player. One guy who's been really good, obviously, and the best player on the USA basketball team easily is Donovan Mitchell. And that leads right into Nick Howard's
he's been playing phenomenal.
I love Donovan Mitchell. He is seriously Dwayne Wade Jr. He really is. He really only has a better jump shot. So that's beautiful. I love to see that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Nick Howard says, what do you guys think of the Big Three in Utah? That includes Donovan Mitchell, that includes Mike Conley, and that includes Rudy Gobert.
I like it. I do think they're going to they're going to the one thing in Utah is I don't like Utah's bench a lot.
It used to be good, now it's not.
This is what I'm saying. Like the one thing in Utah that's gonna really hurt them, if they do if they manage to sneak into the playoffs is
I think they will.
Their starting five is good. Don't get me wrong, is very good. You know, it's enough to compete with some of the better teams in the league. But it's you can't playoff teams that make it to the finals and make it to the conference championships. You can't burn your starting five out. You can't, or you're done. You're done.
Oh yeah, like that's exactly what happened to the Golden State Warriors, and I mean obviously their injuries too, but
they burnt their starting five.
They have enough depth, so
yeah. So that's the Nick. Their starting five is good enough. Like I said, good enough to stick with anybody in the league, with some of the better teams in the league. It's just I think their depth is going to. So I do like the Big Three. Like I do have, I do see big, I see good. I definitely see some good production out of them. But it's just, any like a late, maybe like a late playoff run, like when they're starting to play some of these better teams, I do think they're going to struggle a little bit.
I agree with that 100%. I think they have the potential to win it all, but at the same time, when you got guys like Kawhi and Paul George, I put them in the Blazers class. Like where, in the Celtics, the Blazers and the Celtics, they have like a chance. They have a puncher's chance to win the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of teams, man, out there that, like I said, the dispersion of talent's going to be awesome. But I think we're gonna wind this sucker down and call it a show for today.
Yeah, definitely want to do more of these for sure.
We'll definitely make it a couple. We'll do this a couple times a week, guys.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I love talking with Bobby as always. Obviously the most outspoken guy on Rumboyz After Dark. If you guys haven't seen Rumboyz After Dark, check out. I mean, he's a character on that show, especially. He's always talking shit to the other guys, and it's always fun. Everybody's favorite shit talker on YouTube for sure. Thanks, Nick. Cheers, buddy. I appreciate you. Wish I could have gone longer, but maybe next time we can go 2 hours, maybe.
We'll try. Yeah, man. It's like I said, this was just like guys, we gotta. So for the people watching, we gotta come up with a name for this thing. So if you can think of anything good, drop it in the chat.
Yeah, drop your names, drop it in the comments, or DM us or something. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, man. But anyways, that was just a little news, some updates. Basically the sports news of what's going on so far last week and the beginning of this week.
Hell yeah. Well, cheers to me, cheers to you.
All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do?
All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do? Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly, guys. We out. Peace.
Peace. Perfect. Thanks, dude.